Yeah, okay. So my name is Shun Kubota. So my name is actually Shun, so not Shun Taro. So I'm Shun Kubota and a CEO of the company named Mogura. And I'm the editor-in-chief and founder of MoguraVR, the website Nico mentioned. So I'd like to talk about the virtual scene. So virtual scene means that this word means XR and VR, AR, MR, and metaverse and VTuber scene in Japan in a really short time, just 20 minutes like that. So the next slide. So a brief introduction about myself. So I started my career at the Ministry of the Environment. So it's totally different work, but I'm doing now. But it's my best career in the ministry just a few years, and after I quit it, I started my own project to starting the website named MoguraVR, and I'm now one of the enthusiasts and journalists and one of the CEO of this industry, and and. Uh, And I'm also involved in several XR-related organizations because I think that from my background, I think it's really important to grow as the industry. So it's really emerging, and XR and metaverse and video, but it's really new for the society and our lives. So it is really important to accelerate the industry itself as organization. So I'm involved in some organizations called XR Consortium or XR Association or VRM consortium or like that. And about my company, Mogura Inc. has been a forefront of the XR and VTuber industry in Japan since 2016. So just 8 years. So it's a really short, but it's very long time for me. And we offer a consulting service, organize major conference like XR Kaigi. So XR Kaigi is about 3,000 attendees gathering in Tokyo on every December. So this year we will do that again, sixth XR Kaigi. So my topic is what is happening in Japan in XR and metaverse. Before that, I'd like to mention about what kind of country Japan is. So, so Japan is famous for gaming, right? So Nintendo, Sony, Capcom, so many gaming companies are there. And Japan is a country of contents. Yeah, so many IPs, manga, anime, novel, characters. There are so many characters in Japan, right? In every supermarket, there are so many IP collaborations, snacks, and food, and electronics, and so many things like that. So IP is everywhere. It means that the IP business is everywhere in Japan. And the third one is manufacturing. So Japan is a country of manufacturing, electronics companies and material companies for the silicon like that. And Japan is a country of indie cultures. So do you know the word doujin or free game like that? So that is the Japanese culture, I think. So there are so many unique things coming from this side, in this side. So there are so many personal enthusiasts in Japan, I think. And of course, that the Japan is a country of tech enthusiasts. So one of the Excel guys outside Japan told me that Japan is really good for improving their product because the request of quality is really high in Japan from Japanese people. So both hardware and context and softwares. So let's go on to the XR and metaverse things. What is happening in Japan? So one is this is a common phenomena in Japan and global side. It's the same as the global market. So VR adoption is now proceeding. So the MetaQuest 2 and MetaQuest 3 is very popular in Japan now. I think more than hundreds of units are sold in Japan also, and high interest and growth in enterprise XR. So it means that the VR training, simulation, or working with AR devices. I think this is the kind of the same things happening in Japan. And many smartphone AR applications and solutions. So in Japan, people use AR filter on Instagram like that. It's the same thing. And the booming of metaverse since 2021, I think. The 2021 is the year Meta changed their name from Facebook like that, and metaverse become trends, and after that going down rapidly, right? Um, that's the same phenomenon in Japan. But unique side is that some hardware are coming from Japan. The Japanese manufacturers creating their own XR product. And second is a strong VR usage of social VR. It means that it's kind of a multi-personal, multiplayer VR communication platform. So it's kind of a metaverse. So metaverse is very famous, very popular in Japan. And the third point is a large user base for AR gaming. AR gaming means that Pokemon Go and Monster Hunter now or Pikmin Bloom. There are so many famous and popular AR games in Japan. And the fourth one is the trend of metaverse still remains. Whoa, surprisingly, in Japan, the metaverse is still remains. And the fourth point is, I think it's very unique in Japan, the rise of the VTuber industry over 7 years. So do you know the culture VTuber? Raise your hand. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. So I will talk about VTuber at this point. So the first one is unique hardware from Japan. So extra devices from Japan in these 2 years, I think. The one is, of course, that everybody know PlayStation, and Sony launched their PlayStation VR2 last year. And just today, the manufacturer named Panasonic, it's a global company, I think. They announced their new VR headset called Megane Super 8K. So it's a 4K HI VR headset, and it's super light. It means that under 200 gram VR headset. It's really high specification and awarenesses like that. So this is coming from Japan, the Panasonic and startup called Shift All. And Sony is now creating their own XR headset. It means that the VR and MR mixed reality headset, and they will launch that during this year. And also the Konikyu. Konikyu is one of the group company of NTT. It's the biggest telecom company in Japan. They revealed their own AR glass called Mioza, and they started to sell that on this week or like that. So there are so many unique XR devices coming from Japan. And more unique side is that in Japan, there are great appetite for motion trackers. So some motion trackers are from Japanese companies. So Sony launched their own mobile motion tracker called Mokopi. It's I think user can use that with smartphone or standalone VR headset. Or some companies are making some motion tracker or controllers for VR. And the second point is VR games from Japan are coming. So yeah, there are some titles from Japan, and I think that the most famous one is the left side. The Attack on Titan is a famous global manga and anime title, and the VR version is now on development. And it's really popular on the Quest store, on the Meta store. Okay, and great appetites for air games. As I mentioned, that the air game is this kind of games. So you can see so many people are gathering at the station or park during Pokemon Go event. Yeah, and people are doing that with smartphones, right? And there are some titles, not only Niantic. Niantic is a Pokemon Go company, and they are launching Monster Hunter or Pikmin. It's a kind of a Nintendo IP games. But the Dragon Quest work is from Square Enix, other famous AAA VR AAA game studio. It's also really popular in Japan. So Japanese people really love this kind of position-based AR games. And yeah, the fourth one is VTuber industry rising. I think it's really amazing. Just 7 years. So VTuber and virtual influences from Japan is really new, and this industry just started since 2017 or 2018, I think. But already 2 of the top companies has entered in the stock market and in 2022 and 2023, and collaboration with many major companies in Japan. So you can find so many VTuber collaboration items in the supermarket now. I think you can check it. And the culture is expanding. So the VTuber is it's kind of a avatar-shaped streamers. It's the definition of VTuber, so virtual YouTuber. But their activity is now expanding outside YouTube. So you can find them in the music live concert or something with the real site event. And also, there are some indie VTubers, right? So indie culture is really cool in Japan. So some indie VTuber is now collaborate with official companies or governments. So one of the examples is here. Her name is Usui Clear. He's an indie VTuber. So she's doing everything by herself. But she's now collaborating with JAXA. JAXA is the official government organization about space industry in Japan. And so she streamed their rocket launch event with JAXA in the official JAXA channel. So the two big companies, VTuber companies now in Japan. So one is called Cover, and their name of the VTuber group name is HoloLive. I think that the HoloLive is now really popular in the Western countries, I think, in the North America and Europe also. So the left graph is their sales, the annual revenue. So they are already in the stock market, so you can check it on their website. So you can read their presentation, quarter presentation file. And I think it's really interesting. So this is just a summary of their business. So if you're interested in, you can check it on their IR website. And so the cover sales are really growing rapidly, right? And the right graph is the annual revenue per active VTuber. So it means that how, sorry about that. So this is the amount of the money each VTuber earn annually. So growing really rapidly. So each VTuber gathering the fans and they are expanding their activities, and so they are earning more and more now. And another company is Any Color, and their VTuber group name is Nijisanji, and they are already listed on the Tokyo stock market, prime market. It is the top stock market in Japan, and Cover is still in the emerging market, but Any Color is already in the prime market, and their sales revenue growth, and of course their business is very profitable. So the right graph is indicate their profit. So their profit ratio is really high, and they are expanding their market into global market now. So the next stage is global for VTuber companies. So VTubers will become part of IP culture now. So manga, anime, and so many things from Japan, and at last, VTubers is coming from Japan. VTuber will be everywhere, and more usage and more collaboration. And now trend coming to global market already. So 2 months ago, HoloLive announced their collaboration with Dodgers. Yeah, Dodgers is the baseball team. Shohei Ohtani is there, right? So great collaboration with Japanese baseball player and VTuber. And India Life, so I mean that the IRL is the India Life event. It's a kind of a music concert or kind of the part of anime event or like that. There are so many VTubers already there in San Francisco or New York, or I think that in Paris event or like that. So there are so many India Life event VTubers are there. And I think it's really interesting that the last part, the connection challenge between XR and Metaverse. So one of the top company, Cover, now they are developing their own Metaverse for fans of VTubers to connect with VTubers. It's really interesting. So virtual and virtual, the mixture of virtual and virtual. And I think that some VTuber companies from the outside Japan. So the one of the famous one is V Shoujo. This is a VTuber company from North America. So it's a really interesting trend, I think. And continue our trial towards metaverse. So I think that the metaverse is still remains in Japan. So I will show you. This is a comparison of Google Trends, the word metaverse, Japan versus global. So this blue line is Japan, and orange line is global. So in Japan, the still metaverse is one of the not a hottest word, I think, but it's some people are focusing on metaverse, and some people are thinking about how to get involved in this industry. So what is happening? Companies are still continue their challenges. How to use metaverse to communicate with their users, customers, like that. So they are doing challenges, try and try and try. And metaverse creators are key players. So I mean that in Japan there are so many indie metaverse creators for VR chat or Roblox or any kind of metaverse things like that. So metaverse creators are there too, and surprisingly that the local government attention is now on the metaverse. So they are using their metaverse to solve social problems. And there are some unique platforms to meet this kind of various needs in Japan. So I think that I'm running short of time, so I've accelerated my presentation. So one of the example is the Nissan and Kyocera's example of the metaverse. So their new car announcement on VR chat, and the Kyocera is one of the manufacturer in Japan. Their virtual showroom on metaverse, like that. And people are gathering. That is really important. People are gathering. Yeah. Or Sanrio, it's one of the famous character company. They are using their IP and they are using metaverse annually with their virtual metaverse event. Or like that. Yeah. So I think I will share this presentation to you. You can check it. The really interesting examples by your own. So okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation. Thank you.